using my official Gmail ID. So I'll be getting an form like this. So already I had created some forms. So I'm going to create a new form exclusively for my class. So I think this video would be helpful for you in creating attendance, taking attendance for your classes. So start a new form, click blank, give title for the form, give it as my subject name, day 1 attendance sheet for information theory and coding. The title can be modified according to the subject teacher. So I give a description. Attendance sheet for third year PCE A, B, C, D section. Because as I'm handling a class for all these 4 sections for my elective paper, I'm giving it A, B, C, D. It is up to the subject teacher even to give A or B or AB or C or D or C. It depends upon individual's choice. So in the question, you can type register number as in certificate such that we can mark attendance against this register number and make sure that this required button is mandatory. This shows that this question is mandatory. The candidate has to fill it. So then for the next, I require name of the candidate, name of the student as in certificate. Some might be giving their short form names. Okay, so this question also I'm keeping it as mandatory. Then I'm going to add one more is that period of attendance. Period of attendance. And the speed of attendance, I'm going to make it as a checkbox such that in the option, I'm giving only one option, that numeral 1 I'm giving, such that in our Excel file format, they are given the options of either zeros or ones. If 1 is the condition, it is to be assumed that they are present. If 0 is the condition, it is assumed to be as absent. So I'm clicking it as 1, and in the checkbox I am making it as a mandatory question, so I give an input in the form of checkbox. I make it as mandatory. Then if required, I am giving a declaration that I have in the sense the student have. I have attended today's session on the subject information theory and coding. So this you can mark, and instead of the numeral 1, you can give yes question. So it will give some suggestions. It depends upon the individual subject teacher to give yes or no. And in the responses, check whether the responses are being accepting for that corresponding form. So next I'll show you to save this. So whatever is being typed in online with the Google Forms, it will be automatically saved in our drives. So in which ID I had logged in. So this is my ID, which I am showing here by in blue color. So in this drive, it will be saved automatically. So we need not press Ctrl S or will not save anything. So now I'm going to copy the same sub in order to save the form name. I'm just copying and pasting here. I'll be getting the title of this form as Day 1 Attend Sheet for Information Theory and Coding. Now, after preparing the attend sheet, make sure you check this by using this button. After customize theme, we have preview. So when you preview, you can see that. Since my internet speed in today's evening, it's evening, so the internet is very slow. So I can see that day 1 attendance sheet for information theory and coding. The student has to enter his register number, his name, the period of attendance, and he has to put tick mark that stating he has entered. So these options is left out to individual subject teacher to use it appropriately. So then if he submits, he may get a response. Sorry, the teacher will get a response if he fills all these details. So now to enhance duplication of the same student repeating it again and again, I'm going to change some settings. So I am going for settings. I need to collect individual responses. Whoever is filling this form, their mail ID, if I want to collect, you can enable this. And if you want to send a response of what they had submitted, so give always limit to one response. So this will make that only one student submits this form only one time using their particular Gmail ID or their email. Most probably I am restricting to only for the students those who are in our domain. So if I want to restrict to only for the users, I need to put a tick box in this. Otherwise, if you are using, if some students are using in other than the domains, you need to remove this. So I make the attendance only for the students, those who are with our domain. So I put a tick mark. And I don't give these two options. Okay, edit after submit. Somebody will do editing again and again. So in order to avoid that, I am not enabling this. So next I go for presentation. I don't do anything. In the confirmation message, I give only thank you, your attendance is marked today. So this message will go to the individual filler, whoever is filling the appropriate forms. Thank you, your attendance is being marked. So this is optional confirmation message. It depends upon every individual to change and share it. So then this is not a quiz. I'm just collecting data. So who all are present. So I just save it in my settings. Okay. Now, after all my attendance sheet is ready, how do I share it to my students? Or how do I share it to people for whom I am taking attendance? So simple is that go to send, automatically collect response from the domain. So enable it. If it is disabled, please enable it. Then this attachment will be the small type of attachment type. So click it. Then you can shorten the link, copy, and wherever in the form of either during the class, you may have a chat box. There you can paste it at either 10 to 15 minutes before the end of the class, and you can monitor, or you can send it through email This is for email to individual students in your class. Get it filled up, and the attendance will be saved in your drive. And I'm going to show how this is being saved. So I go for preview. I type a sample register number 1234. I give a student name. For example, I give QWERTY. It's an example. QWERTY as a student name. I give the student is filling period of attendance stick. Yes. Yes. I have attended today's session on the subject. If he clicks yes, then only it will be submitting, or else it will not submit. For example, I remove this. Student is, the question is mandatory, is required. So he has to enable this such that period of attendance can be marked easily. So now I submit it. So if I submit, I'll be getting an information day 1 attendance sheet for information theory coding. Thank you, your attendance is marked today. So this will come. So then how do I see? This is for student. This is for student. Day 1 attendance sheet. This will be visible for student or whoever is filling the form. So how do a teacher can see this, or how we can take all this data? So I'll show you that. So for that, I need to log in to my Gmail. I'm logging in. So when we log in, we should make sure that the login is of which mail ID you are used for creating Google Forms. So login using that. Network. So some network is slow, so it is taking some time. So I need to go to, or directly you can go to Google, and for my convenience, I go into my mail and I check whether it is under my login of where I had created the Google form. So I go to this 9 buttons. I click it on that. I am scrolling down. Okay, this is here we have forms. So click on the forms. So here you can see that on that day where the forms is. So if you click on the forms, you'll get attendance sheet for information theory and coding. Click on that. If you are unable to see your Google Forms in the button, you can directly go to your Google Drive and see. So now you can, I'll show you that the responses after the questions button, you have a responses. So click on the responses button. I can see that from a mail ID of mine itself with a register number 12345 and student name as QWERTY, I got a period of attendance. So this person is present. So I can get the count also. So from here, total number of counts, and I can get how much percentage of students has also been given present to the results. So how do I download this responses? Is that before downloading the responses for your attendance, kindly disable the responses as not accepting. Then we have a button at the top. Click on that. You'll be having options: get email notification for new responses, select response destination, unlink, and download. So download the responses in .csv. So when we download the responses, it will be automatically downloaded in our downloads folder in the system. So you can see that here I have got the responses for my classes. So I open it. It is in downloads. I open it. It is taking some time as my system is slower. So I click on that and it will open only in .csv file. If you want to convert into Excel, I'll show you the procedure also. How do I convert into Excel? So I can see that I have a timestamp. So this timestamp shows that at what time, at what time the responses is being collected and in which melody they had given attendance and what is the register name, what is the name of the student, and they have declared that the period of attendance and they have attended the class. Yes. So with this register name, so I had made a mistake. It should have been typed as register number. So there is a mistake in my Google form, so I can correct it also later. Okay. Then name of the student. So I'll correct it by I'll correct it. So with the register number and name of the student, you can mark your attendance as in the given format. So since I had made a mistake, how do I do? Also, you can learn. So I simply close it. So whatever variable that I give in the Google form, that will be stored here. For saving, you can use these options. Convert this comma delimited to Excel 97 to 2003 or macro enabled or Excel workload. I cancel this. I don't want to save. So I'm canceling. My wish is I don't want to say I'm not saving. So let my system go back. I'll show how to rectify the form. So then for the next day's attendance, I need to create another form in similar type. So I go to the questions. Instead of register name, I am changing it as my desired variable register number. So it will be automatically saved from the next responses. So here there is, since I had given a register number, it will ask us response validation has been added. So since the register number is a combination of alphabets and numerals, remove this. I hope everyone would be understanding in a better way as how to take attendance using Google Form. Thank you.